Hello. Hey, Angel. Hello. Hello, Robin. Hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate it. Hello, all about me. Hey, Chris. Thank you, Magical Eyes. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate these. Hey, thank you, Onward. Thank you so much. Hey, Allie, good morning. Hey, Amber. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate it. Actually, today is like a stay-at-home kind of day for a Monday. I'm good, Allie. Thank you. I watch you all the time. You made it on Lifetime. Yes, Michelle, I did. And thank you. I appreciate you saying you watch me. I appreciate everybody who watches. I really do. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Hey, Ariel. How are you? Hold on. You finally made it through the time difference? You're listening. You finally made it through the time difference? You're listening and working? Hey, Jackie, how are you? Thank you, All About Me. I appreciate it. Hello, KJ in the UK. Hello, Louise. How are you? Hello. What's up, Nina? I just came on here, guys. I have a little bit of time to kill. Why are you here, people? I had a little bit of time to kill, so I figured I'd come on just chit-chat until my next meeting. Hello in El Salvador. Thank you, Time Traveler. Oh, hello, Patty in Indiana. Hello. Are you guys going to be around for, I think we're going to stream the Life After Lockup tonight. Hey, Peaches. Hey, Britt. Hey, in Pennsylvania. That's where my daughter's regionals for gymnastics are going to be. I have to go up there soon. Bro is supposed to be on the show tonight. So she finally made it. Like, whoa. You know, finally being friends with Gypsy has paid off. Moo is sleeping over on my husband's chair. Are you, Tracy? Yeah, I'm going to stream it. However, I keep getting like serious hits when I do it. So I'm probably going to stream it, talk a little bit, stream it. Did I hear an announcement from Gyp tonight too? What? Oh, wait, hold on. What announcement do we have? What do we think the announcement is? I was watching Morgan and Alina on YouTube showing Gyp's lies. Really? Oh, I need to go see that. I get plaque when I listen to Gyp. She's so deceitful. It is a publicity stunt. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. Guys, I really do appreciate the heart me's. I finally realize what all this stuff means now, so I'm getting there. I heard something about an announcement, and y'all tell me she ain't pregnant again, because I can't even. Is that what it is? Do we think that that's what it is? Thank you, Wit. Thank you, Binks. Thank you, True Crime. Thank you, guys. So, as far as I know, Brenda, I heard that there is going to be a third season, and that they will start filming in, thank you, Stedman, that they will start filming in June. Now, normally, I don't like this show, okay? First of all, this season is boring. I watched the last season, well, because there was a whole hot mess, and I was trying to see if I can catch her in lies, which I did. And this season just is seriously boring. And Engagement, I don't see Ken willing to settle down with her yet. I'm just saying. Although I did hear them last episode talk about, like when they were doing their live, about other kids. So I really hope that that's not the thing. But yeah, this season sucks, in my opinion. It really does. It completely sucks. There's nothing, like, her life is boring. I don't know why we thought somebody who only is good at planning murders Would make for good TV. However, it's not. But I am kind of curious to watch next season because she will be off of parole. And guys, I think that's where it's going to get juicy. That's where we're going to watch her spiral. That's where we're going to watch her get out of control and lose it all. Do you know why Gypsy doesn't talk to Dee Dee's family? Honestly, I believe she does. I believe she does talk to people in the family. I do believe that her aunt, I think it was Claudia, who was also her godmother, went and visited her in prison. And, you know, I do believe that there are people in the family that have, that speak with her and have a relationship with her, which is wild to me. I bet she will come out and say the baby is Ryan's to get back at Ken for dumping her in prison. Listen, when he called that out, that was funny, but he's right. Guys, Ryan is so right. Ken did dump her. Ken totally dumped her. She could sit there, and of course, we know that that was damage control. Her and Christy putting out this narrative that it was for her benefit, and I needed her to find her. Like, that was a bunch of bullshit. That was damage control. Ken just up and left her for another woman. Let's be real. And that's why she fixated on Ken, is because she can't handle that nonsense. She needs the people. She needs everybody to want her. And when you show that you don't want her, just like Dan, she becomes fixated and obsessed. Why is my video jerking around? I don't know. Is it? I have a screenshot of their DNA test. Damn, I missed that comment. It's not? Okay. She is not off parole. She's off parole in June. Did I say Ken left? When she was in prison, Ken left her. They were originally together in prison before Ryan. And then Ken dumped her. And then she got back with him. So yes. Did I see what the other Ivy Rose posted? If so, what's your thoughts on that? I did not see what the other Ivy Rose posted. See what the other Ivy Rose posted. So no, I didn't see it. I don't know what she posted, and so therefore I can't have any thoughts on it. I saw something on TikTok that showed the baby's earlobes look like Ryan ear. I don't know if we can judge that he's the father because the earlobes are similar. There's only so many ways an earlobe can look. Ryan did say that she married him after she got her parole too. I did see that, and you know what though? I mean, that's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. I'm not, you know. She said Lifetime is setting up content creators. Who's Lifetime setting up what content creators? I don't get any, how do we, I mean, I don't know who she's talking about, but it surely ain't me because, well, I mean, how am I getting set up by Lifetime? Because if I were getting set up by Lifetime, that means I would have to be in contact with Lifetime. And I'm not. So that's a little bit wild of an accusation, especially for somebody who claims that, you know, for you to sit there and keep doing that, like, you're going to sit there. It's just wild to me, guys. It's just wild to me. They're setting up the other Ivy Rose to make content. Well, that's on her. If they're setting her up, that's on her. However, I don't feel like I'm getting set up by Lifetime because, well, I have nothing to do with them. So, you know, she said you guys are jealous haters. Jealous of what? But again, I'm going to assume that you're just in here trying to start crap, because if you're not, and she's actually saying that, then, again, you sit there and you speak about content creators, but then when they call you out, you cry victim you cry victim to it. Make it make sense. So I'm just saying, if I'm your content, then I need you to get better content. However, I'm not saying that because no, I don't watch her. I didn't watch her. So there's that. Jealous of what? Ken, who dumped you to look back because of the money you were making? I'll leave it. Oh, who? I'm jealous of who? Gypsy? Sorry. convicted murderer hasn't been on my list of life accomplishments, so there's that. They are here to create drama. Yeah, I'm a little confused too there, Katie. I agree. The post I did make a video about her new car post, which is wild. How can you be jealous of Gypsy Rose? I mean, let's be real. Look at her. She's trashy. She's a hot mess. I mean, she had her whole affair live on television. You're a convicted murderer on parole, so I'm not jealous of the fact that you have to ask permission to travel. I'm not jealous of the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, seriously? Yeah, parole. I've always wanted to be on it. Like, come on. Yeah, I don't know what I'm jealous of Gypsy of. It makes no sense. I mean, her looks. Are we for real? But are you jealous of her toothbrush skills? Those are some skills, man. I'm just saying. 12 minutes riding a toothbrush ain't no, like, that's some, like, up here level shit. I'm just saying. It's wild. Although I've never looked at my toothbrush and been like, oh, you're a hottie. Let me ride you. Nah. Sorry, that shit ain't for me. I know you're still not talking about, oh, Jesus Christ. I can't. Y'all just come in here and y'all need to remember we can talk about whatever we want to. And if Gypsy wants to put herself in the public eye, then I'm going to talk about her. And if she don't like it, we'll get the fuck out of here then. So there's that. She did it with a toothbrush for 12 minutes, yes. And that's fact. The police had to watch that video. So, yeah. Jealous of what? Just saying. She did insert a toothbrush in herself to get off for 12 minutes. Yes, that's a fact. Thank you, Garnet. Not just a toothbrush, an electric toothbrush. Yes, all about me, you're right. You'd think she would be embarrassed by the toothbrush thing and her book. You know, but that's why I firmly believe she's suffering from some severe psychological disorder, because she doesn't suffer from embarrassment. She doesn't get embarrassed. I would be mortified if people had that reaction to my book the way we had that reaction to her book. I would be mortified. And just sit there and have people talking about how I wrote a toothbrush. Dude, I'd go hide under a freaking rock. There's no way I'd be out here acting like I'm some hot shit with a new car that my dead mother paid for because I stabbed her in the back. No way. No way. I could not show my face. First of all, I couldn't show my face after I had to sit there in the public and tell everyone, no, trust me, the guy I'm cheating on my husband with is the baby daddy. Like, once that happened, like, that is outrageous. That's just the most outrageous thing that she's ever done, in my opinion, is like flash her affair and try and prove to everybody that the affair that she had actually happened because she got pregnant by the guy. Like, that's wild to me. I'll never understand that. I will never understand that. She doesn't feel any remorse. I've never seen her try and take accountability for anything. I've never seen her look like guilty or like she had any remorse for what she did. For any of it. For the affair, for the murder, for all of it. The manipulation. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. She does. She absolutely loves watching herself on the show. I agree. Her poor kid is going to hate life. I mean, that's my mother. I mean, come on. Yeah, I am also streaming it live tonight, too, at 9 o'clock. She's watching herself. Yeah, she's watching herself watch herself. It's wild. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It is. It really is. But I feel like a lot more people are starting to talk about how they don't believe her. I really do. I feel like, more and more we're seeing bigger people, bigger creators, people with a little bit louder of a voice talk about how they're questioning a whole bunch of crap. And I completely appreciate it. I really do. You know, getting the story out there, like, she was not prepared to come out of prison and have people question her story. She was not expecting that. Yeah, the cockiness that she shows, now let's be real, she does not have that kind of confidence in herself. She doesn't even know who she is, okay? But to sit there and get on the internet and act like your shit don't stink when you're a whole convicted murderer who had a whole affair on your husband in front of the entire nation is just wild. I don't know how you think you got any confidence or you could be cocky about anything. You're nothing but trash. You're a whole hot mess, and it's wild to me. Hello, hey. You know, I think at first Ken loved the attention, but now I feel like, hey, Dave, how are you? But now I feel like he's embarrassed. The embarrassment wasn't what he expected. I didn't believe, like, you could tell that he got embarrassed when she even posted the paternity results. You know what I mean? Like, you could see his reaction to that. I think that he was not expecting to be so embarrassed and for her to act so unhinged. He does, Blanche. He looks absolutely embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. He'll be even more embarrassed when she's off parole. Can he get any more embarrassed? Y'all, I mean, here we are. Everyone knows that his girlfriend rode a toothbrush for 12 minutes. I'd be freaking mortified, okay? Here you are writing this book to your daughter and dedicating it to your daughter. Meanwhile, it's smut, okay? And I just feel like he's going to leave her again if he hasn't already. I firmly believe that they are on and off. I do not believe that they are in some tight-knit. I don't care who says it to me. I don't care if you live in her home and you're telling me, forget about living on bayous and all that other nonsense. I don't care if you live in her house and you told me. I don't believe it. Because there's just no way. All of this nonsense coming out, he's looking embarrassed. He's clapping back at her. It's so freaking obvious, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, it's always at his house. It's funny, for someone who lives not there, she's at his house an awful lot. And you heard, Bree had to make sure that she said that she was going to his house to watch it because she can't call it her house. It's wild. Yeah, she'll never be happy with... She doesn't know what happiness is. She's looking for something that she doesn't know what it is. Yeah, can you imagine her not being able to do whatever she wants because she's got to go watch a baby? Let's be for real. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. That I have no idea. If she's in a rental or an Airbnb or if they bought it, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't see him buying a house because, well, usually you kind of have to have a job. Yeah, she does. She hasn't, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now she could follow him around. Isn't that sweet? She's got a car, she's driving, she could be a stalker, because let's be real, we know she does that. I can see him moving back to Texas. I could see it too. I did hear that he doesn't like it down there. He does not like being in Louisiana. Maybe Ken gets paid from Lifetime. I'm sure he does. He's on the show. He absolutely gets paid. Now she could stalk creators. Good luck. I don't see that going over too well. You really can't play victim when you're in fact the perpetrator. I'm just saying. There's that. Thank you, Garnet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the gifts. I really do. I appreciate it. He seems extremely unhappy. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Thank you, Blanche. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys for the heart me's. We know she spins it, so she's the victim. Always the victim. Thank you, Tilly, and thank you, Diane. Thank you, Ella. Thank you so much, guys. I hope Ryan makes more money than both of them. Like I said last night, thank you, Brenda. Thank you, guys. Like I said last night, I hope the best for Ryan because nothing is going to screw with her more than, not Butterfly talk about, I don't want them in Texas. Well, first of all, I don't think they're moving it. Well, I'm not even going to say that, but trust me, I don't know that they're going back to Texas. But nothing would screw with her more than Ryan ending up in a happy relationship with a beautiful, sweet woman and children and being not affected by any of this, being able to move on and do better than her. Nothing would make her more angry, and I think that would be funny. So nobody's rooting for Ryan more than me, not just because I think it would screw with her, but because I think he deserves it. I really do. Although I'm not going to lie, I mean, I really question the fact that these people looked at her and, like, you know, I really, you know, I would love to sit with Ryan for 1 second and just be like, explain to me how you looked at this woman and thought, I want her to be my wife. You know what I mean? Like, that's just really odd to me. Thank you, Garnet. Thank you so much. Her leaving Ryan was the best for him. Absolutely it was. He dodged a bullet. He dodged all of the bullets and a couple of knife jabs. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, that one's fast. The hero syndrome. Yeah, you know what? It definitely could be. Like, feel like they could fix her like she needed to be fixed. However, I don't think either one of them were expecting. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, guys. I don't think that either one of them were expecting her to be the not-so-victim. You know what I mean? Not so much the victim. Gypsy is absolutely a master manipulator. That's my opinion. And nobody's going to ever change my mind. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ryan was looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah, I don't understand how they watched this movie, heard all of this nonsense, looked at this girl, this woman who looked and appeared to be a child and sounded like a child, who convinced another man to murder her mother and thought, I want her to be my wife. You know, and I don't know. I would love for Ryan to explain that to all of us. I know he doesn't like me. He's not going to explain it to me. However, he may explain it to one of you because I'm really curious. I just don't understand it. And the same thing with Ken. You know what I mean? And then you got to wonder, did Ken dump his ex-girlfriend or was he dumped and that's why he went back to Gypsy? You know what I mean? Because apparently he left Gypsy and went with her, right? I think he really believed her story. It's possible. But you got to, with all the information out there now, we know that they're all on social media. Hell, we know they're all on TikTok. How are you not seeing it now? You've got to be picking up on it. You've got to be asking some serious questions now. Like, shit, I screwed up. Who do I think the dad is? I think it's a possibility for either one of them to be the father, which says a whole lot of who she is. You know, the fact that either one of them can be the father just screams volumes, guys. It says so much. You know, it's like, I think that a lot of people say that it's Ryan's because they want Ryan to be the father. They look at Ryan and they see a better man to be a father. They think, you know, I think that he's a lot more respectable than Ken. I think, you know what I mean? Like, ultimately, I think that people are saying Ryan because they want it to be Ryan's. Like, wouldn't all of us, I think the best for the baby would be for it to be Ryan's, in my opinion. I don't know that they're officially divorced yet. I don't think that they finished the actual paternity test for the court. However, I don't remember. What kind of divorce is that? When everything else is settled and then you're just waiting on that one thing. So they're not fully divorced yet, no. Not until that paternity test comes back. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. We just want the baby to be safe, loved, and cared for. Absolutely. And I think baby is still in Anderson, yeah. I do believe that people push the fact that it's Ryan's because they want it to be Ryan's. Because they think he'd make the better dad. And I think that he would care more about a baby and he would stick up for a baby and he would defend a baby, not caring what anybody else thinks. Well, I feel like Ken is a, I don't even know. Give me another word, guys. Ken is a wuss. Okay, I see Ken as a wuss. He's not able to stick up or defend himself, defend Gypsy. He can't have a voice. He doesn't wear the pants. A pushover. That's it. He doesn't wear the pants in the relationship. He's not actually the man. Gypsy actually runs everything just like Christy does. She's being taught by the best, let's be real. And I think that she was never able to take the pants from Ryan. Ryan put his foot down. And she did not like that. Oh, it's control. No, it's not control. It's you're allowing everybody to run your life, and it's not right. Do you see what she's been posting? Hold on. Do you see what she's been posting on Twitter? Stop it. She's over there on Twitter. No, I got to go log into Twitter now, though. What is she posting on Twitter that's different than what she's posting on Instagram and TikTok? She does. They all want pushovers. They all have to run the show. Gypsy's always been in control, which is why I believe that Gypsy absolutely controlled Dee Dee. Let's be real. She controls everybody else in her life. She absolutely controlled Dee Dee. She's talking about her kid getting death threats. Who's talking? Haiti Joyless's kid is getting death threats, or Gypsy's kid is getting death threats? Gypsy's getting death threats. I did not stalk her house. That is not this Ivory Rose Knows. That is Ivory Rose Grows Wild. I am Ivory Rose Knows. She is Ivory Rose Grows Wild. We are separate content creators. Let me tell you something. First of all, I think that for being TikTok, that I don't believe anybody is threatening that baby. I haven't seen anybody come hard after that baby. Nobody is taking it out on a baby. Cut the shit now. Let's be real. I've seen a lot of creators who really would go in and be nasty and just, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of creators calm themselves down and relax themselves and play nice when it comes to that baby. Nobody is sitting there saying that about a baby, trying to say that they want the baby dead. Like, come on, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real. And let's be real. Like, no, it's never a baby's fault. And I don't know a single creator who doesn't believe that. So it's bullshit. I'm tired of her bullshit. A lot of creators don't even talk about, I, for one, don't really speak about her baby. Like, I'll speak about her baby in a theory or about her being a mother, but I do not speak about her baby. As of today, you know what I mean? Like, I don't make fun of her baby. I don't, while I say that baby is going to have a hard life, that's because I believe that. That's not to negatively speak about a baby. I just don't bring up kids. I'm a mother. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It's just another way. Thank you, Yasmina. It's just another way for her to look like a victim. Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. It's part of her. There is no Munchausen by proxy. She's saying it for attention, and that's awful. Absolutely. We know she was going to use this baby for attention. Just because she's not showing the baby for attention doesn't mean the baby's not being used for attention and to back up her victim narrative, to support this I'm a victim story. She absolutely is using that baby as a pawn to push the story out there, to play victim to online bullies. There ain't a single one of us ever wishing harm to that baby. Like, cut the shit. If you want your child to stay safe, stay off social media. Exactly. Exactly. Which is exactly the same thing that Dee Dee was trying to do with Gypsy. Trying to keep your daughter safe. Keep her off the internet. Right? It's the same thing, Gyp. Just saying. Hey, Miranda. Her show ratings are tanking. Absolutely. Guys, this season sucks. Let's be real. Nothing really happened in this season. She doesn't really have much. It's not like she goes to work. It's not like she cleans a house. Let's be real. She ain't Susie Homemaker. She ain't raising a baby. Like, we're not seeing any of that. Let me tell you something about reality television. Why do any of us watch reality TV? Is because we want to find people to relate to, right? We want to find people that, we want to find people and say, hey, you know what? These people are normal just like us. That is the intrigue and with reality TV, and that's why people are so fascinated with it. We want to look at these people, the Kardashians, how famous they are. Do we really watch it because of their storylines? No, we watch it because we want to see that their lives are just like ours. They sit down, they have coffee in the morning, their houses get messed, their kids run crazy. That we want to be like, you know what? They're just as normal as me. That's why we watch reality TV. Okay? We do. We watch it because we want to say they are just like us. They are normal just like we are. Teen mom. I was a young mom. I related to them. I wanted to see that they were normal just like me. That it wasn't like I just lived this horrible, chaotic life and these people lived the perfect life. And that's why we watch. That is the intrigue with it. We want to see that these people who are in positions on television live a normal life and they're normal just like we are. You don't get that from Gypsy Rose's show. You don't get the genuine. You don't get any of that. She is not home being a wife to Ken or a wife-like to Ken and being a mother to Aurora and cleaning her home and getting a job and doing all these things. She's not. She's sitting there playing victim to online bullying because she's infamous on murdering her mother. We're not watching it. We cannot relate to her. None of us in the public can relate to her or her story. None of us are out there having affairs on our husbands, getting pregnant, and shouting and fighting that we did indeed cheat. Like, none of us, we can't relate to her. Thank you, Samantha. We cannot relate to her. She is not out doing everyday things that us wives and mothers and women do. And that's why her show is not making money. We cannot relate to a cocky, convicted murderer who has absolutely no life. Let's be real. She rides on the fame of her social media, and that's it. And her murder, the murder she committed. That's what she rides. That's all her life is. You heard Ken. Oh, she's sitting on her phone all day long, clapping back and doing comments. Like, people would be more interested to see that this woman is normal like the rest of us, and people aren't watching it because she's not. We cannot relate to this fake facade life that she puts on. That is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen, Diane. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Brenda. And so that's what makes reality TV. That's what makes it or breaks it. The fact that the average person in their position can relate to them. That is what makes reality TV so watchable. Okay? We watch the Kardashians. The best scenes in the Kardashians and the most watched episodes are the one where we as normal people can relate to her. Okay, her kids are running around, hopping on the internet. They're doing this, they're doing that. It's really, we just want to see that they're normal like us. None of us can relate to her sick self. And so that's why nobody's interested. You sit in this fake house. You don't do any of the wife things. You don't do any of the mother things. You don't do any of the reform things for somebody who is a convicted murderer. You don't do the therapy things for somebody who suffers from trauma. You don't do any of the things that a genuine person in your position would do. You're fake. You're fake. And you're absolutely right, Petty. That's why people like Chloe the most. She's the most genuine. People want to relate to people, which is why people believed her in the first place. But now they can't relate because she's not doing any of the things that a trauma victim should do, that a wife should do, that a mother should do, that, a respectable woman in a divorce should do, all of it. Nothing. And so that's why she's not getting the views. That's why it's not good television. All right? You're sitting there, you're getting in the car with Bree, you're riding around, stalking creators. It's fucking wild. Nobody relates to that because we're not unhinged like that. I'm just saying. So that's why her show is not making money and not making the views. Reality TV is all about us regular, everyday people relating to those people. Okay, that's why we watched, what was the nanny show? You guys remember that nanny show? If you're a mom like me, you watched that nanny show. I wanted to see everybody's chaos. I wanted to see that their lives and their families were complete messes just like mine. That there were people out there, super nanny. Like, I watched that because I had so many kids and all of my kids were young at once. And my house, I couldn't keep up with it, man. It didn't matter how much I tried. the screaming, and I was trying to teach my kids and give them schedules and everything else. And so I watched that because I could relate to those people. Like, yeah, it's not that easy. Teach me what I'm doing wrong, It was relatable. Gypsy Rose is not, will not, and never could be relatable to any of us normal people. Her show will never make it. That's really it. That's really just how I feel. I only have two. Yeah, listen, the Super Nanny, the books, all of it, man. Like, I was hardcore into like shows like Super Nanny. Like, because it taught me a lot. But I was in that position. I could relate to those people. And so that's why I was glued in every week. Like, what other mess can I learn from? Like, how can I learn? What is your opinion in her blowing on her baby's face? You want my opinion? It may not be what y'all want to hear. I do too, Barbara. I had the Super Nanny book too. My opinion on the whole, her blowing in the baby's face. I'm going to be honest with you because I have no reason to lie to you guys. I don't believe it was everything we were trying to make it out to be. I think she's just an idiot. And again, there's the lack of being able to relate to someone like her. Like, that just wasn't smart. I don't think she was doing it to harm the baby, if I'm going to be honest. I think she's just dumb and has absolutely no common sense, nor does she show that she has a great relationship with that baby or a very close connection. And so she wouldn't even know that the baby didn't like that. However, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think she was doing it to hurt the baby. I think she's just dumb. So there's that, Yeah, she's just seriously lacks some freaking common sense. Like, well, obviously she killed her mother, so we'll ride on that one. And thanks for coming at me for not defending her. Huh? And thanks for coming at me for not defending her. I don't even know. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, but I don't believe that listen, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, and you guys want me to be honest, you want everybody to be honest on here. However, while I do believe that because she committed a crime previously, she is more susceptible to committing another crime, I do not see any red flags in her parenting that I see that she shows us online or on these lives. I am not going to lie to you. I am not going to say something just because I don't like Gypsy Rose, and I've said this before. While I don't know that she's the best mother or even knows how to be the best mother or any of that, I don't believe that I don't see any red flags that I can see. And again, we only have access to see what she allows us to see during lives and during videos. However, I don't see anything that makes me think that she is harming that child or showing any red flags. I really don't. Now, is it a possibility that it can happen? Yeah, because look at her history, and history repeats itself, and you don't just lose the mindset of being a murderer and being able to actually take someone's life. You don't just lose that ability. However, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think her blowing in the baby's face was to harm the baby. I don't see any. Again, I see somebody who doesn't like to take advice and probably doesn't take advice from other mothers in that family unit, and somebody who just wants to be like, this is my child, I'll do what I want. I don't, however, see any ignorance. Yeah, I don't see any red flags that she is harming the baby or, has harmed the baby in the past. I really don't. I see her struggling to, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, I do see her struggling to form a connection with that baby. But again, I think that goes back to her having a psychological disorder. I don't think human connection is something that easily comes to her. Again, obviously she killed her mother. But I don't see that she's harming that baby. I don't think right now she's ever done anything to that baby. And I don't see any red flags. I do see ignorance. I do see a lack of, parenting education. I don't see her hurting that baby right now. And I'm not going to say she is, or that I think so, just because people want me to say that, or it would be better for views. I'm not like that. I'm going to be honest. You want me to be honest. Because if ever I do, you want to know, like, hey, if Ivy Rose says it, like that might mean something. One day I might see something and be like, guys, this is really a time to worry. No, I don't think we should be calling CPS. I don't believe that that baby being in the system is the best for that baby. And now, again, I don't like Gypsy Rose. You all know that. I don't like Christy. I don't like any of them. I think they're all grifters and horrible people. However, if anybody knows the system is worse than wherever that baby can land as long as it's not being physically harmed. And I don't think Ken will allow that to happen. So I don't think people constantly calling CPS on that baby is smart, or they should do that, because the system is not better for that baby just because its mother's Gypsy Rose. And while we don't like her and we know that there's a potential for some harm to be done to that baby, at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest. While I question everything about her because who she is, I do have the best wishes for her. I hope that she gets therapy and is able to connect with that baby for that baby's sake. I hope she can. I hope she learns to be a mother. I hope she learns to take, people's, constructive criticism and people's opinions and the education that these other mothers are out there offering. Now, I don't like Christy. I think she did all right by her kids, though. I'm going to be honest. And so while I don't like her, and I think there's a potential, and I talk about the crime and the potential for it, I hope the best for them all. I hope Gypsy gets help. I hope she becomes a good mother and she has a connection with that baby. I hope that she can find and one day be in a relationship where she actually cares about somebody other than herself. That is my hope. That should be all of our hope. That should be all of our hope for her. Not that she messes up, not that she ends up back in jail or, God forbid, hurts that baby or somebody else, because that just shows what kind of people we are. That is not my hope for her. I don't sit here, while I think she's going to spiral when she gets off parole because of her history and what I've seen, my hope for her is not that she goes back to jail or hurts somebody, potentially a baby or Ken or Christy or anybody like that. I don't like these people's personalities. I don't like their ethics or morals. I don't, however, want to see people get harmed. And again, the whole thing is I hope she does change. I don't ever seeing her going back to prison for the crime she committed already. Okay? That being said, then let's hope that she goddamn well changes her ways, gets some education, gets some serious therapy, and becomes a better person. That's what we all should be wishing. Because that makes sense. You know what I mean? We all want to see that happen. We all want to be hopeful that she changes. And though I call her out when she doesn't change and she shows the same behavior that she's shown in the past, I'm doing that because maybe you should change, Gypsy. Maybe you should get the therapy and, all of that. So I'm just saying, none of us should be wishing she goes back to jail. None of us should be wishing that she harms that baby or anybody else. We should be wishing that she changes and gets therapy and changes for the best. However, we all have to be cautious because we know her potential because of history. History repeats itself. So I am not, listen, I don't know who's coming at me. I am not Ivy Rose Grows Wild. I have never harmed anyone. I've never stalked anyone. I have never driven past anybody's house, nor do I support that behavior. I've said this a million times before. I do not like Gypsy Rose. However, I would never do anything to hurt her. I don't think anybody should do anything to hurt her, nor should I think that people should go and stalk people in real life. I think that is unhinged behavior. I just think that was completely uncalled for. I don't think she did it, you know what I mean, like she was going to go and drive and do anything to her. However, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And if somebody was on a live and drove past my house, I would absolutely 100% take that as a threat. Okay, I know that Christy initiated it and called her out and wanted her to prove it. I get that. However, I think that behavior was not the best. I don't agree with it. I don't support it. I don't like Gypsy. I would never do that to her, nor just because I don't like her doesn't mean that I want to see her hurt. I don't want to see anybody hurt. That's the whole point of this justice and true crime thing. Nobody wants to see anybody hurt unnecessarily, not even Gypsy Rose. I do think it's dangerous when you're sitting there doing that and you're giving other people ideas. You don't know what the intent of other people watching you were. They could have joined you. That girl was pregnant. She had an innocent baby that she was carrying, and I don't agree with it. You know, I never spoke on it because I knew people weren't going to like what I had to say about it. However, I will never hide what I truly believe for anybody's feelings. You know, so that's exactly what I feel. So Key, I don't want to see her harmed unnecessarily. I do believe she should have gotten the death penalty. I do believe the heinous crime she committed was one that warranted the death penalty. I don't take that back. However, do I think somebody should go to her house and harm her and her unborn baby? No. No, she was not given the death penalty. Though I think she should deserved it and she should have gotten it, she didn't. And so I'm good with that justice. I don't think anybody, though, should go and take it upon themselves to harm her. Both can be true. Both can be true and both are true. So you want me to take that back? I will not take it back. I do believe that crime that she committed was so heinous, it warranted the death penalty. But nobody should harm her. We are not justice. We do not take justice into our own hands, just like she shouldn't have. Nobody should be going to her house and putting her in harm's way, especially when she's carrying an innocent child that had nothing to do with nothing, whether we like the people that were in it or not. And so I'm always going to speak my truth. That's what I believe. Never, I'm not going to change my mind for anybody. I'm not going to just say something because people want to hear it. And it's, you know, the popular opinion. You're not going to get that from me, Key. You know that. Okay? I don't agree with what she did. I don't. Yeah. So, you know, you're only going to get the truth from me. There's a difference between justice and the justice system and the criminal, you know, all of that. And then personal, I don't do that. Personal justice at all. And again, she was carrying a baby. And again, she may not, Ivy Rose Wild may not, her intent may not have been to harm Gypsy. I'm not saying it is. However, when you're on a live like that and you have a following, okay, like that, you don't know what other people, you don't know what your viewers' intent are. Oh, Ivy Rose Grows Wild is down there. Let me go meet her down there. Let's go get her. Like, you just don't know what the intent of other people are. So, no, I think that was completely uncalled for and just not smart on the part of, I don't believe she was going to do anything physically. I don't believe she was there to harm anybody. It was just, in my opinion, unhinged move. It was a mistake and it shouldn't have been done. So I agree. I absolutely agree with that. So, Rogie was, that's your opinion, and I'm not going to get into anybody else's drama. You know, I only stated that because multiple people were asking me my thoughts on that. And I really try not to talk about it because I know that people aren't going to like what I have to say. So usually I keep quiet. However, I am not Ivy Rose Grows Wild. I am Ivy Rose Knows. We are two different people, two different content creators, two different types of content. And so that really is my point. Someone's accusing me and saying, but you went to her house, but I did not. That was not me. I live plenty of states away. I'm not even close to the bayou. So there's that. I will be on tonight. I will do a live tonight. And I will stream the show. Key, I do know that. And I agree with that. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get it wasn't said as an act. Key, I get it. I'm not even going to get into that whole mess. But I agree with you there. So, listen, I hear that, Key. But I'm just not close to Louisiana. Listen, I'm in a whole different state. I am on the far east of the country. Any more east, and I'll be drowning. Keep doing your videos because I love watching them. All About Me, I really do appreciate that, and I do plan on continuing. However, I do want you guys to know that I will be picking up the Megan Reed. I don't know why who's Megan Reed, and why do I keep calling Karen Reed Megan? I don't know who Megan Reed is, but I keep calling Karen Reed Megan Reed. However, I will be picking up the Karen Reed case and going over that a whole lot more with my Gypsy content and other stuff mixed in. Ivory, what do you think about the camera and the contents of the SD card? I do believe there was incriminating evidence on that SD card. Absolutely. I think that if it was nothing, she would have given them permission to get the contents. Everything else, other videos on her computer, on her phone, all of that were all incriminating. So I absolutely believe that there's incriminating evidence on that SD card. I personally can give you my opinion. I don't have any facts to back it up. I think she might have taken some pictures at the crime scene. That's just me, and I've got nothing to back that up. Don't believe that. That's just my opinion, and, I have no reason to believe that. I just look at her and think that she would do something like that. So she did have to give permission, because what the court was saying was, when that came into question, she had already taken her plea deal. When that card was in the camera was in the bag was brought into evidence. However, when they put all of that stuff into evidence, they did not take the stuff off that SD card. So while the SD card itself, as an object, is in evidence, the contents inside of it were not submitted as evidence. And so in order for them to get that as evidence now, they would have to ask for it. Now, the court is saying to them, we don't have the authority now. She already took her plea deal. This is hers. She is no longer being investigated. She is no longer on trial. We don't have the authority that's hers, and we don't have the authority to look at the contents on the fact that you think there may be incriminating evidence. I don't agree with the courts with that. So they did ask her, and she said no, because technically the court said it's her private property. Even though I do believe the SD card is still in evidence, and usually in murder and rape cases, evidence usually stays. If I'm correct, I believe that in murder and rape cases, they usually hold on to evidence indefinitely, because you never know what's going to happen later on down the line. So she does not have it in her possession. But again, it is her contents on it, and the courts didn't want to, which I think is wrong. The courts didn't want to they didn't want to illegally search it, and she did not give permission. However, I think that just shows that there could be incriminating evidence on the SD card, because why wouldn't she have just given it up? Okay, and at the time, she was still good with him, right? Like, still trying to testify, supposedly. So, I don't know. I feel like, and again, if that evidence came to light, that there should have been a plea deal, like, that would have been a whole mess. And so I do believe it was, so she didn't incriminate herself any further. So that's what I believe is on that. That's what I understand is the whole dealings with why didn't the courts just do it? Because the contents of it was not given for evidence. It was the actual card itself, not its contents. And so, yeah. Absolutely, Stephanie. And I appreciate you guys. I really do. So I don't know about that whole thing, but again, I just think that goes back to there may be more evidence. I think she might have taken pictures at the crime scene. I have no proof of that. That's just, again, that's just me believing something from what I've seen with absolutely no evidence. So don't believe that. Come up with your own opinion on that. So when they brought that in Jodi Arias' case, when they bring that up to the courts, they get the contents of the camera, and they submitted the contents of the camera for evidence. They did not do that with the SD card. The SD card itself as a thing was submitted, but not its contents. Whereas the camera, they did submit the contents. It's, yeah, all about me. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. So yeah, on that note, guys, I gotta go. I have one more meeting to finish for my work day. I appreciate you guys all being here. I love having these conversations. Again, please take what I say into account, that, nobody should ever try and harm anybody, even if we don't like them, even if they're criminals. And I will see you guys tonight. I will be on tonight, probably about 8:30 Eastern. And I will see you all then. And I appreciate you guys all for the gifts and the liking the live and everything you do. And I will talk to you guys later.